Girls love low energy introverted game because that reminds them of Jesus Christ. When you think of Jesus Christ, you probably don't think of him as being an extremely loud individual with a very dancing monkey like characteristic. You probably think that Jesus is a very introspective person who is fulfilled within himself, and out of that fulfillment, words just flow out of him, teachings just flow out of him. We all want to be with Jesus Christ. Girls want to be with a person like Jesus Christ because they hope that certain quality of Jesus Christ is going to get rubbed off on them as well. So you need to become Jesus Christ in order to attract the girl of your dreams. And the only way to embody Jesus Christ, the only way to have this amazing introverted, low energy game is to recognize that your world, that your personal world is your own creation. That is becoming Jesus Christ because you know that your world is nothing but your own creation. Upanishads clearly say that your mind is so powerful that it creates your external reality. You think your external reality is solid because your five senses perceive them to be very real, but it is not real. It is just an illusion. It is just a projection from your own subconscious mind. A very reputed science journal, Nature, has declared that this universe is completely spiritual. There is actually nothing material in this universe. Everything that you perceive to be material is actually spirit condensed into matter form. Now, when you realize this, it's very easy to become Jesus Christ. And when you become Jesus Christ, you will just get girls effortlessly. You do not have to learn outer game, DHV stories, nicks, openers, closing sequences. None of them matter because outer game is actually just a manifestation of your inner game. And the best inner game is to have a self-image of yourself as becoming Jesus Christ. I realized this when there was COVID lockdown and I could not game anyone. I was forced to stay with myself and I started to have anxiety and panic attacks because we are our own worst enemy. That time I realized that I was not building a confidence through game and pickup. I was just building a big mouthpiece. And in order to heal my anxiety and panic attacks, I had to turn inwards. I had to study spirituality. I found spiritual mentors from the East, specifically Nepal and India, and I studied spiritual mentors from the West. And then I realized that my external world is an extension of my own mind. By becoming Jesus Christ, I was completely able to get rid of my anxiety and panic attacks. I no longer had to chase anyone. Everybody came to me. I started to focus less on outer game because I realized that they do not matter. Outer game is a manifestation of your inner game. Your external reality is a manifestation of your inner world. So let's jump into the next part of the video where I am going to teach you on how to become Jesus Christ. The first step of becoming Jesus Christ is doing Yoga Nidra. Dr. Andrew Huberman calls Yoga Nidra as non-sleep deep rest protocol. It is very simple. You just guide your attention through your body parts one by one until you achieve a state of relaxation. That is when your brain is going to create these slow, coherent alpha waves and theta waves, which helps you to get into a very receptive attitude of mind. That is when you're very close to the source energy. That is when you're very close to God. That is when you become the Son of God. Now, what you're going to do is you create an imaginal act where you're already super powerful, where you're already super attractive, where all the girls that you want are coming up towards you. They're kissing you. You're touching their hair. You're smelling their perfume. They are complimenting you. Oh my God, you're so attractive. Oh my God, you're so powerful. I'm so lucky to be with you. Your friends and family members are complimenting you. Mark, how did you change so much so fast? Please tell us your secret. When you provide all the sensory vividness to this imaginal act, your brain actually starts to believe that all these things are actually happening to you in real time. Because your brain is very objective. It cannot distinguish between a strongly visualized act which has all the sensory vividness and an experience that you have in this three-dimensional world. Now, your job if you want to become Jesus Christ, is to hold your attention on this imaginal act and mentally rehearse them over and over again. But this is difficult because right now your attention is either going to go to the past event or it starts to anticipate the future worst case scenarios of your life. However, if you train your attention and manage to hold it on this imaginal act where you're super powerful, where you're super attractive, where girls are coming up to you, where they are loving you, where you do not need to make any effort in order to get girls, then that imaginal act is going to give feelings to your body. You're going to feel the emotions of joy, gratitude, empowerment, or thrill simply by mentally rehearsing all these wonderful imaginal acts. Now, when you start to feel elevated emotions of joy or empowerment or gratitude ahead of this actual experience, then you actually become a magnet for that experience to happen. Right now, in your experience, only after an event has happened to you, you feel a certain emotion. When a tragic event happens to you, you feel tragic emotion. When a wonderful event happens to you, you feel happy or grateful. But if you flip this, if you start to feel wonderful emotions of joy, gratitude, thrill, or empowerment, then you create an equivalent event in your external reality. This is such a wonderful thing to experiment with. This is what will actually make you Jesus Christ like. If you actually start to embody these elevated emotions of joy, gratitude, empowerment, suddenly your physical reality starts to reflect that change. All of your visualization will happen in your external reality. So this is why girls love low energy game. You do not have to have a very high energy. You do not need to be extremely extroverted or be a dancing clown. Simply be a Jesus Christ. Recognize that your external personal reality is your own creation. You create your world by vividly imagining wonderful things and feeling the emotions of that imagination. Now, if you want one-on-one personalized coaching from me, where I will hold your hand to success and help you build a true spiritual confidence and a solid inner game, then message me on my Gmail or my WhatsApp, which are linked in the description box down below and the pinned comment section down below as well. Remember, it's not about seduction, it's about transformation. When you truly transform, your outer game naturally flows out of you. When you truly become an amazing, powerful person inside, then it must get reflected on the outside. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.